to fit this vast subjects in 15 minutes, I have collected 15 guidelines, rather 15 important points or steps. So without wasting the time, I would like to jump on the point first. So
Okay.
immunity and diet, right? The first step towards this topic is Agni. You cannot separate Agni and immunity from each other. They both are integral part of each other. Rather, Agni is only immunity. And when we talk about Agni, it's not the Agni that present in stomach. It's not only the digestive fire. The Agni we are talking here about is the Agni which is present on the cellular level. The Agni which is functional on the Dhatu Poshan, Dhatu Pachan, Dhatu Nirmiti Kriya, and Agni that is present in every metabolic, every small or major or minor metabolic activity that is going on every second in our body. So when you are consulting for the Ayurveda diet, when you are prescribing any Ayurveda diet to your patient, or when you try to adopt Ayurveda diet for yourself, so Agni is the first point you must not forget. So identify your Agni, respect your Agni, and have food according to your Agni, right? So you need to assess your patient's Agni first, and then only you can help your patient, then only you can help yourself with the right kind of diet. The second important step or second important point is seasonal diet. So I think Rutucharya and Dinacharya are the most unique theories in Ayurveda, which are helpful throughout the globes despite of any geographical condition or despite of any boundaries within the countries. So you'll be surprised to know, many of you must be knowing, that there is a separate science branch which only dedicates to the study with how and at how and why environment affects the genetics of human and other living bodies. So there is a huge influence of environment, geological conditions which surrounds you in your body, and every cell and every gene is getting affected by the changes that happening surrounding environment. So it is very important to follow the seasonal diet or diet according to Rutu, because when there is any change in season, definitely there is change in various doshas present in our body, and there is an inseparable relation between the dosha balance or imbalance and the immunity and the immune profile of the person. So it is very important to get to know very well about Rutucharya and try to fit all the guidelines in Ayurveda regarding Rutucharya with respect to the current era, right? You need to prescribe, you need to discuss, you need to tell your patients, or you need to give practical solutions to your patients when you suggest them the diet according to Rutucharya. You can suggest your patients when there is Varsha Rutu diet, which is favorable for Vata dosha, favorable for reducing the Vata dosha. At the same time, you need to give them the proper reasons also, why are you making the changes in their diet. So have a good collection of contemporarily uh, contemporarily formulated recipes with yourself, so that you can give them practical solutions. So seasonal diet is the second good step towards immune building diet, I would say. Third point is very important, which is digestion. There is a very good verse in Sanskrit, which Jirne Bhojanam Vyadhino Upasarpati. Like when the previously consumed diet is very well digested, then only you are eligible to have the further meal, right? So when you are following this very prime rule, there is no chance that your body will fall to any infection or will fall to any other than non-infectious diseases. This is because if your previously consumed meal is not digested, your body, your digestive system is already busy in processing, in doing the macro and micro digestion also. And if you are putting the load on it again and again, definitely the system will get confused. Definitely the later consumed food will be passed on as it is, indigested, half digested, and it will form ama, obviously. So one need to teach your patients, one need to definitely highlight this rule that do not eat if the previously ingested or consumed food is not digested properly. Because recently when patients are consulting online from India and abroad also, they are just throwing a list of nutritious food they are consuming throughout the day. Like, ma'am, my diet is really very good. I'm consuming everything that is good for my immunity. And when they tell me at 7 p.m. I have jeera water, at 8 p.m. I consume 10 to 12 almonds and black currants. Then after 1 hour, I make sure that I hydrate myself with a glass of warm water and honey and lemon drops in it. Then there's a time for soup after immediately 1 hour, and then lunchtime, and then again snacks time for the fruits and dinner, and the list goes on. So it's not, it is important what you are eating, but it is also important that when you are eating, in how much quantity you are eating. So just bombarding or just bombing your digestive system with lots of nutritive food or with lots of immune boosting food is not a good idea. So definitely follow this rule. When the previously digested meal, then only further meal. The fifth point is diet trends and diet fads. From the 15 years of my practice, I'm witnessing very strange and weird diet trends, like no fat diet, only fat diet, keto diet, only protein diet, and no carbs, and everything, like any imagination in diet trends you can see among youngsters and even older patients nowadays. So try to, don't trust blindly on any kind of diet. Have balanced food, because carbohydrates are necessary, fats is necessary, good fat is necessary, and try to balance with all the available ingredients surrounding. So do not fall prey for any diet trend or any weird diet, I would say. Try to follow your traditional way. The sixth point I have concluded here, like packaged and processed food is equivalent to stale food. So is it a good idea to consume stale food often? No, not at all. So whatever come in package, whatever come in ready to eat form, or whatever come in ready to make form, just try to keep a count on that. I would not say totally eliminate these products from your life, because nowadays we are very busy with doing other meaningful things also other than cooking. So, but try to keep a count on that. Try to avoid them maximum, because there are many other simple recipes, many other simple products that can come into the ready to eat form and still they are healthy for you. We will also be talking about that in further points. So make sure and check your fridge door and check your cabinets regularly, and try to eliminate those processed food, ready to make food packets from your kitchen. And the seventh point is local traditional grain, fruits, vegetables. Basically, be local. Try to buy the food, try to buy the veggies, fruits, and other things from the local market. It's not always the exotic things, and it's not always the imported things that are good for your health. So try to be local. And definitely regarding fruits and vegetables, do remember that that the local vegetables and local fruits do not travel from long distance, so they are probably free from any chemical preservatives which would try to add their shelf life. So it is a very important point, because nowadays the whole world is a global village. So we can get anything from any corner of the world at any moment, at a click away, I would say. So try to figure out which vegetables are locally grown, which fruits are locally grown, which things are seasonal, and try to adopt those food or those food items in your regular day-to-day diet. The eighth point I would like to mention here, and it is very important, that yes, I'm eating immunity boosting food. Yes, I'm eating very good food, but how you are cooking it? What samskaras are you giving it? If you say jungle mouse is good, if you say yes, chicken is good, but if you are if that chicken is undergoing through the barbecuing process or deep frying or other marinations with unfavorable curd and all, then definitely the whole scenario of the nutrition is going to change. So do keep a check on samskara, do educate your patient about samskaras. Uh, like yeah, you can say deep frying, then pickling, then curdling, and other barbecuing like samskaras are not very good for food, and these samskaras may subject that food to lose their nutrient value and convert them into various viruddhara also. Okay, the 9 point I would definitely like to stress on, which is kitchen herbs or kitchen spices. Do not ever forget the magical treasure in your own kitchen. Uh, our kitchen, Indian's kitchen specifically, is loaded with remedies or loaded with magical remedies along with yourself. In not only in the COVID-19 era, I would say these herbs and these spices are taking care of health for generation to generation um, in our culture, I would say. So in this era specifically, I would like to select some herbs like black pepper, cardamom, cinnamon, cloves, cumin, then turmeric, obviously, dry ginger instead of wet ginger. I would prefer dry ginger. Then fenugreek seeds, coriander seeds, poppy seeds. So there is a endless list. Curry leaves, coriander leaves. So there is an endless list which we are holding in our hand in our kitchen. So do not forget, try to read the research paper on each and every spice so that you can scientifically explain the reason behind your prescription or the reason behind why you are advocating these spices to your patients also. So most of these kitchen spices are antipyretic, anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, antibacterial, antifungal. Then most of them are, anti-helminthics also, which is definitely a good thing to eliminate from your body because helminths and agni is again a thing to concern. Then most of these spices like black pepper, cardamom, and cinnamon, they are proved as antioxidants also. Anti-tumorigenic activity is seen in the chemical studies of these spices. Many of these spices are anti-cancers also. Uh, so definitely go through every spices properly, and you should know the science behind advocating these spices, right? So do not forget the uh, endless treasure in your kitchen. You can even suggest your patients, or you can for yourself also, you can just make some combinations ready at your handy, like grind together dry ginger, cloves, cumin, and keep separate. Then mix properly well the dried coriander seeds, cumin seeds, then garlic also as in the form of chutney. You can just grind together cardamom, nutmeg, cinnamon together and keep aside. So these various combinations you can use variably in your day-to-day cooking also. Just add half tablespoon in your dal, just add half tablespoon sabji in various soups or in various desserts also. So overall, all spices will be in their proper form in your every day-to-day diet. So 10th point I would like to mention here is definitely Viruddhana. No diet talk and Ayurveda meal talk will be complete without mention of this beautiful theory in Ayurveda. So Viruddhara comes in the top list reasons or diet mistakes that usually people do, and which definitely harms or which definitely damage the immune system. So you need to know the modern forms of Viruddhara. There are beautiful description in Charak Samhita and in other Ayurveda texts, and there is a huge list of Viruddharas mentioned to help us Vaidyas, to help us our patients also. But you need to know the novel forms of Viruddhana also. So what are those novel forms that we encounter day to day in modern era? So take an example of cocktails. Various cocktails are the best examples of Viruddhana. You can find anything can be added. That's why the name is cocktail. So when you take history of your patient, you should be knowing about the diet habits of your patient. So if your patient is alcoholic, if he's preferring cocktail, so you should know you should know these things as his health history. Then barbecue is another great example of modern or novel Viruddhara today. In the case of barbecue, what happens? The meat or other vegetables are charcoaled. They are char-boiled or char-cooked. So it forms a black crust. It forms a thin black crust on barbecued food, which is tasty, yeah, which is tasty, but which is not favorable to immunity. So there are two major contents in barbecued food, which the first content is HCA, which is heterocycline amines, and the second major content is PAH, which is polyhedric aromatic hydrocarbons. So both of these chemicals damage. They have oxidative effect on cellular level, and they are harmful. They are termed as a potent carcinogenic. So basically, the thing is, you should know these things also, these scientific terms also, so that your patient will get convinced. If you say it is pitta, this food will raise your pitta and this food will raise your kapha, it may not relate to your patient. But if you explain your patient in the terms of relevant scientific terms, it definitely will alert him at his conscious level, I guess. So you should rule out the various viruddhana your patient having, specifically in the time of COVID, as Dr. Minal also mentioned, that this lockdown period is usually used by the disaster chef nowadays, cooking so many things and feeding families. It's just like a competition, I think. So, if you are not posting a post of your new food cooked today, you are out of your lockdown trend, I guess. So try to control this. Keep your cuisine simple, keep your food simple, fresh, traditional, so that you will not jump into the uh, dark well of Viruddhahara. 11 point is also very important, which is water intake. So most of the times, there are various myths about water intake, I would say. Your body is the right indicator when you need to drink water. Whenever you feel thirsty, it is a good time to drink water. But um, following some trends, or there is a Google guru among all of us. So following that information on social media or web or anywhere, I would say there are various wrong practices followed in terms of water intake. I have written a very detailed and long blog on only water intake. If you are interested, you may visit my WordPress site, which is Dr.Rupali.Panse.wordpress.com, because I cannot explain everything in 15 minutes. So basically, do mind your water intake. Do not compare your digestive system with the flushing or with toilet. This is ridiculous. I mean, water will not flush out every toxin out from your digestive system, because even water needs to get digested in our body. Even water needs Agni Samskara on it. So do not do not overfill, do not overhydrate, I would say. So do read that blog. You will get a whole idea what exactly I want to say. So do mind your water intake also. The 12th point is a beautiful chapter in Charak Samhita, like Gita. I would say it's a Gita for Ayurvedic students or Vaidyas. So in the 27th chapter, Sutra Samhita Annapanvidi, a beautiful classification by Charak Samhita I would like to mention here. After description of all the food, after all the food classification, after the description of all the food vargas, Anna vargas, Charaka help us, Vaidyas Charaka help us, and he classify the two categories of food, Nitya Sevaniya and Nitya Asevaniya. The food which one should consume regularly without any doubt, without any query, without any assessment, and the food one should not consume regularly without your Vaidya's advice and without assessing your Agni, Prakriti, and other Ahar Vidhi Vidhan points. So This classification will help Vaidyas to decide their patient's diet also. So in Nitya Sevaniya Ahara, there is Chalishashtik, Mudga, Amala, Saindav, cow milk, cow ghee, then jungle mass, which we can say goat meat, then properly obtained honey and barley. So these are the list of Nitya Sevaniya Ahara which you can add in your patient's diet in various forms, in various combinations. If you go through the web and if you study the various scientific research papers that are done in every food item mentioned in this list, you will be amazed to see the beneficial effects and to how exactly this food works on genetic level in our body. Take an example of simple shalishashtik, which is red rice. There is a beautiful research paper on web you may find on web, which mentions that how the simple red rice grain have an anti-tumor effect, have an regenerative effect, have an immune modulating effect in our body. So it is very important to follow these food items regularly in your diet. So at the same time, Charaka also mentioned about asatmya or nitya asevaniya dravyas, aharas, which
Last minute,
is
madam.
man-made. Hello? Do I have time? So, okay, dry meat, dry vegetables, lotus stem, lotus root, paneer, which is mentioned in the form of kilat and kurchika, then cow meat, fish, then urad dal, which is mash, and dadi. You can also go through these food items and you will find as all these food items, if you consume them regularly and in large quantity, irrespective of your agni, without assessing of your prakriti and agni, these all food items will definitely damage your immune system in one or other ways. So do mind these nitya sevaniya and asevaniya ahara dravya in your life, in your day-to-day diet. Among all, I mean, of all these points and of all these discussion, do not ever forget that Rome was not built in a day or night. So you need to invest in your immune profile. You need to invest in your immunity regularly with small, little efforts, but do not discontinue. You cannot get immunity by a single pill. You cannot get your immunity
Madam.
by a typical diet. So be firm to be regular in your immune building. This was my 14th point, and I would come on my last point, 15th point. So, sarva rasatmak ahara is very important. Eka rasa
Madam,
satmyam.
please be brief.
Hello, I cannot hear you properly.
Yeah, please be brief, madam. Your time up.
Okay, so I would conclude my speech with the 15 points. Have your diet with 6 all rasa, because sarva rasa satmyam arogya karanam sreshtham. So I think this 15 points guideline will be helpful for you to choose your immune boosting diet properly, because as I said, it's not the food that only increase your immunity. It all these points, all these steps together will benefit you. So I'm again thankful for you, for your organizers to give me an opportunity to be here. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rupali. Thank you very much for being so for the 15 points of yours in the diet. And basically, you more emphasize on the Agni and the Rutucharya. It's a very good